Hello and good evening, friends. The fact that you are watching News Sunday, and a festive Sunday at that, shows how seriously you take what's happening around you and in the country. So let's have an engaging 1 hour of news conversation. We discuss and debate two trending stories tonight. One concerns our national security. The day began with low-intensity blasts rocking north of Delhi. On target were a school dedicated to the Central Armed Paramilitary Force, CRPF, and a local market. Thankfully, it was Sunday and not all the explosive went up, limiting the damage. Also, today the hoax bomb threats to our air traffic continued. Through the day, there were 20 more threat calls received, taking the total to beyond 90 mark over the last 1 week. Kempegowda Airport also got targeted in Bengaluru. Make no mistake, this is no prank playing out. It seems someone is making a serious attempt at compromising India's march to progress and prosperity. Air traffic is a marker of an economy on the move, and that's getting targeted. Indian airline industry, in fact, is the fastest growing in the world. Are these developments linked at the rump? Is there a common hand guiding this to compromise India's national security? And when all this is happening, why is opposition politicizing such a serious issue of consequence? That's what we are going to discuss. Also, as political activity picks pace in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, Congress suffered setbacks in both the states today, with allies alleging high-handedness. RJD has raised hackles in Jharkhand over seat sharing, and tension is mounting with Uddhav Sena in Maharashtra. Seems the Haryana lessons are already forgotten by the principal opposition party and the Indy bloc pivot. Would the developments have consequences for the opposition alliance going forward? That's our debate number 2 at 9:30 p.m. Let's begin with the headlines first. No end to hoax bomb threats to airlines. Aviation sources say that 14 flights received threat today. So far this week, more than 90 domestic and international flights of Indian Airlines have received bomb threats, with all of them turning out to be hoaxes. Explosion outside CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini this morning. School's walls suffered damage, but no casualties have been reported. Delhi police files FIR under Explosives Act even as NIA gets into action. Rift in India ahead of Jharkhand and Maharashtra elections. Stalemate continues in MVA over seat sharing. Meanwhile, in Jharkhand, RJD decides to go solo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be an attempt to target India's economy, keeping in mind the bomb hoax threats that are being received by several airlines. Not just that, today in the national capital, a blast took place outside CRPF school. All these events combined together surely hint towards a larger conspiracy. Let's look at the developments of the day, and then I come back with a panel of guests for a conversation.
The issue of national security is of prime focus these days. This starting with several airlines, which includes Air India, Vistara, Indigo, receiving bomb threats.
It's the domain of the security regulator. They are seriously looking at it, and it is definitely a very sensitive issue. It is a subject which is of, I would say, very serious nature, and so it has been looked at extremely seriously.
In the national capital, a CRPF school was the target. In the wee hours today, a bomb blast occurred outside a CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini area.
At around 7:47 today on Sunday morning, there was a light intensity blast that occurred over here at the place, the visuals of which are being given to you by my video journalist V.A. Parvez Tomar. Now you can understand that to begin with, it seemed that it was just a kind of a small mishap that had taken place. However, when the investigations by first the Delhi police officials began, it got to be known that this was not a kind of a mishap, but rather a kind of an explosion which required in-depth investigation.
Meanwhile, the Congress is towing an anti-India line. Senior Congress leader Sushil Kumar Shinde refused to be drawn into a question on whether he considered 2001 Parliament attack convict Afzal Guru to be a terrorist. Overseas, the issue of Khalistani extremism against India is on the rise. This, as pro-Khalistani activists, escalated tensions between Canada and India with a demonstration in Vancouver targeting Indian diplomatic missions and symbols. National security for India is the priority. And India is clear that it will not forgive or forget any threats to India's security and sovereignty.
All right, joining me in this conversation, Karan Verma, political analyst, leans towards the BJP. We also have Akhil Swami, political analyst, leans towards the Congress party, and Syed Asad Abbas, political analyst, leans towards the Congress or the Aam Aadmi party. He has contested, in fact, on an Aam Aadmi party ticket. Joining us live from Bengaluru, I want to begin with Professor Madhav Nalapat, and he's Vice Chairman, Manipal Research Group, and someone who's a known name and face when it comes to our national security and strategic affairs. Very good evening to you all. And Professor Nalapat, the kind of politicization we are seeing by the opposition, particularly the Congress party, even the Trinamool, can you give us a perspective on, can you connect the dots actually on what has happened over the last 1 week with these bomb hoax calls to our airlines and, in fact, a string of bomb blasts, in fact, in Delhi today?
Well, Abhishek, the fact of the matter is that it's a situation where more and more companies are looking to decouple from China and they want to relocate. Many of them have gone to Vietnam, they've gone to Indonesia, they've gone to Thailand. Now, if many of them, frankly, would have a natural home in India. And increasingly, more and more companies who are decoupling from China are looking at India. Now, this is something which obviously is not to the liking of India's enemies. So they're trying to create an impression of fear among foreign investors that the country is not safe. And they're doing that through targeting of airlines, through targeting of railway lines, through targeting I'm sorry to say, the schools and where the children of CRPF Jawans are studying. This is clearly a coordinated attempt. And the attempt is essentially to ensure that
Yeah, I think we lost the line there, Professor Nalapat, and we'll come back to you, connect with you again.
Abhishek, like 20 million jobs. We're looking at 20 million jobs, and in my view, every single party in India ought to be interested in those 20 million jobs for young people. And this is what is frankly being targeted by these efforts to show that India is unsafe, when in fact, the reality is overall, India is a very safe destination for foreign and domestic investment. Thank you. Abhishek.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Professor Nalapat, for that opening, because that puts the whole debate in perspective, and then we can ask some questions. I would want to go to Syed Asad Abbas first, and then to Akhil Swami, and then I come to Karan Verma. In that order, Syed Asad Abbas, you heard what Professor Nalapat said. The railways being targeted, the threats we have seen to railway tracks, the airlines getting targeted, and now actual bomb blast happening in Delhi. Is this really the time for the opposition to be trying to put the government on the mat when Justin Trudeau has just lost his mojo and is trying to manipulate the India-Canada relationship to salvage his political career? Syed Asad Abbas, can we be a little more responsible?
Abhishek Saab, absolutely. We certainly can be responsible, because I've always believed with great power, there is great responsibility and equal accountability. In the own words of our Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji, who once said, opposition is the backbone of democracy, and he welcomes the criticism which comes along. Therefore, we need to understand, for the best functioning of a democracy, the opposition needs to keep the ruling dispensation in check. For instance, for all that is happening in a country, undoubtedly, India is a progressive country. We are a Vishwa Guru. We are a country to look out for in the world of today. The fact of the matter, what is happening, the hoax calls at the airport or the low-intensity bombing which is taking place, this is a wake-up call to the Home Ministry, the Intelligence Bureau, the Research and Analysis Wing. Everybody needs to come together along with the National Investigation Agency.
Why there a suggestion, Syed Asadabad, that it's not already happening and the agencies are not doing their job? My question is, why create a situation where they actually slow down because the opposition wants, like Manish Tiwari does, parliamentary oversight over intelligence agencies?
Parliamentary oversight, if you look at Abhishek Saab, that has been the world over, be the United States of America or the France or even in Russia and many other places across the world and countries are looking at parliamentary oversight when it comes to national interest, national security. Second point, he had also drafted a bill on the same front which unfortunately couldn't be tabled. Be it the UPA to blame or even the Bharatiya Janata Party, that needs to come together because I believe matters of national interest, matters of national security, the opposition and the government need to come together in a united stand. Pawan Khera ji made a very important point that on these matters, we will stand with the government of India. Now, the second point, coming to a Trudeau, I feel, looking at it globally, is a leader who's lost his respect. He's trying the best to salvage his situation, but this weak leader, Trudeau, has absolutely no evidence against India. He is on a losing wicket in the next upcoming Canada elections. So therefore, in order to keep his vote bank happy, he can do his petty politics. But mind you, we as India are a global leader to look out for, or a Justin Trudeau or other vested interest cannot move that aside. The only factor, Abhishek Saab, the only factor that needs to be determined here is, of course, the NIA is doing its best, the Ministry of Home Affairs, but we need to take the level higher. We need to be more vigilant. We need to be out there so that these hoax calls can be traced at the earliest. And mind you, no one should be able to repeat this. And terrorism must be dealt with iron hands and no other way to go.
Syed Abbas, what you are suggesting is, your position is akin to hunting with the hounds and running with the hare. You are trying to, do a balancing act, which is actually looking like that. You're not taking a position. You're not taking a position. You're not taking a position because it's indefensible.
I have. India first. Like Republic says, India first.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That needs to be, of course, appreciated. Okay. So I'm flipping it. So I'll go to Akhil Swami later. I'm going to Karan Verma next because Karan, you have some food for thought coming in from Syed Asad Abbas. I quoted Manish Tiwari because he posted a couple of days back that there should be a parliamentary oversight over intelligence agencies. This is in such a hot situation, a full-blown diplomatic war, so to say, between India and Canada, and in fact, in some ways, between India and the United States also, for a parliamentarian and someone who has been a minister 2 terms to be suggesting that, okay, fine, let's look at our own agencies first. This is like you are taking a position which helps the enemy.
Absolutely. And Abhishek, honestly, the Mumbai Congress handle had tweeted at length about it. And just when they thought that it wasn't cutting much political capital, they deleted it, in which they had cast aspersions on our own agencies and pretty much sided with what US and Canada were saying. So, this has been a stated position of the Congress. The Congress, they can side with the enemy if they can see the Bharatiya Janata Party or Modi fail. They don't care whether the country is failing in the process of that. That is how desperate they are. I appreciate what my friend Abbas said. He put country first, and that is what every opposition should also do. Unfortunately, the Congress has completely failed at it. They've totally failed at it. And, when we talk of national security, Abhishek, I'm so glad that even an explosion today is drawing this kind of attention, which it should, because back in 2008, I remember, we've come a long way. There were 70 blasts causing civilian deaths in Delhi itself in 2008, one single year. And it didn't raise much of an alarm. We had a terrible situation as far as internal security is concerned. I mean, just look at the data. How far we've come in terms of national security, in terms of eliminating the red corridor, where incidents today are down by 72%. Or even terror incidents in Jammu and Kashmir or stone pelting, which has been pretty much reported. So we've come a long way. Of course, there is no scope for complacency. And Canada, for that matter, Abhishek, Canada today is come into the same category as Pakistan. It is harboring terrorists. It's a failed nation in decline, and it's making a mockery of itself.
In some ways, perhaps, it's worse than Pakistan. Remember, we continue to have our Deputy High Commissioner in Pakistan, and there are no tit-for-tat measure insofar as diplomatic staff strength is concerned being taken between the two sides since 2019. And Akhil Swami, it seems everyone says nation first, including Syed Asad Abbas. It's just the Congress party which is not able to decide. You know, earlier in the morning, we had such an unfortunate picture or a video of Sushil Kumar Shinde, former Home Minister of the country of the Congress party, fidgeting and not accepting that Afzal Guru was a terrorist, despite the fact that there was a Supreme Court order based on which the Congress party government at that time hanged him. But Sushil Shinde can't gather the courage to call Afzal Guru a terrorist. Remember, the Congress party has no stakes in Kashmir anymore still. Akhil Swami, this is a problem of the mindset that the Congress party is facing clearly when it comes to national security, as exemplified both by Sushil Kumar Shinde and Manish Tiwari.
See, Abhishek, I cannot understand as to what type of mindset you have. You are calling Congress anti-India, you are calling Congress pro-Pakistan, and you are asking questions to Sushil Kumar Shinde. Do you have any evidence that Congress is a anti-national party or it's a pro-Pakistan party, number one? I cannot understand as to what Professor Nalapat wants to say. I cannot understand as to what Mr. Abbas wants to say. See, the point is, Mr. Nalapat says that India is a safe place to investments. And on the other side, he says that the foreign elements are attacking our railways, they are attacking our airlines. They have the courage to blast a bomb in the CRPF school campus. And what type of safety is it? So I'm not a politician. I'm a practicing Sanatani. I'm a practicing Hindu. And I do not know, you had the narrative against a population which is, again, Hindus are only 100 crores in a population of 700 crores. You took enmity with 150 crores population of the world. Now you want to challenge the Christians. Now you want enmity with Canada.
Are you suggesting that our economy is being targeted? Are you suggesting that's a very serious charge you are making, Akhil Swami. It's very irresponsible. You are saying Hindus are doing it. What are Hindus doing? Are you suggesting that 100 crore Hindus are on a warpath with all the Christians and all the Muslims of the world? That's a preposterous suggestion to make.
Other countries, the rogue countries, to attack your economy. You are an incompetent government. You should be replaced. But you are allowing the railway accidents to take place every 2 days. You are allowing the bridges to collapse. You are allowing bomb blasts to take place, and I do not know.
What do you mean by allowing? Professor Nalapat, I need to get you in here. He is suggesting that this is happening because the government is allowing this.
Not in the safe hands. Nation is not in the safe hands. I'm not a politician. I'm a Sanatani.
But you are taking a political position, Akhil Swami.
Abhishek, let me point out that India is not a small country. We have 1.4 billion people and 400 million people. And the good news is that this particular thing was a crude device. And had it been a more sophisticated device, there would have been a lot more worry of where this device was manufactured, where it was assembled, and how it has been placed. But this is obviously using a lot of amateurs, if I may say so, sometimes even school children, to do low-intensity events like this.
The government is allowing that. The government is incompetent. Government is allowing that. We are unsafe. We are unsafe. Because of this government, we are unsafe.
No, we are unsafe, Akhil Swami. You know, we are unsafe because the kind of security strategy the Congress party had, where despite the fact that your air chief at that time said that we should go and teach a lesson to Pakistan after 26/11, the Congress party government at that time chose not to do that. Okay, but let Madhav Nalapat complete. I'm coming to you. Let Madhav Nalapat complete. Let Madhav Nalapat complete.
Yeah, I only want to say that fortunately, the railways, most of them have been discovered before a train could pass through the tracks.
After the blast has taken place.
I'm talking about the...
Hold on, Akhil Swami, hold on. Let him complete. I'm coming to you.
Please, let me tell you that relative to the intensity of the effort of the attacks against us, I can tell you that in my view, a large number of them have been diffused. And if you're asking to diffuse every one of them, it is simply not possible. But the reality is, overall, I mean, they're all in India. They're all working in India. We don't feel unsafe working in India. And frankly, so many companies are working in India. So many companies are coming into India. And this impression that's being created that India is an unsafe place, I think that is a very unfortunate impression.
I'll tell Akhil Swami.
The future of
Professor
India
Nalapat,
and damages the prospect of jobs for you.
Professor Nalapat, sorry to be interjecting, just giving in some facts for Akhil Swami. Akhil Swami, you know, what is unsafe India, I tell you. 2007, bombings in Varanasi and Lucknow.
Past. We have
Kanpur.
a government and we are asking
2008, serial bombings in Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Bombay, Mumbai.
Why ask questions to
2011 Mumbai, bombings in Mumbai, 2006 bombings in Mumbai, 2011 bombings in Delhi, 2013 bombings in Patna.
And the incompetent government is not able to handle that.
That was incompetence. Every 6 months serial blasts, every 3 months serial blasts happening in 2008.
Manipur is burning for 16 months.
Now you go to Manipur. I am discussing what has happened over the last 1 week. Of course, it's serious. That's why we are discussing Akhil Swami. We are not brushing it under the carpet, but the manner in which opposition is conducting itself is really unfortunate. Okay. Karan Verma, you want to respond to Akhil Swami? He's saying your government is irresponsible and citizens are not safe because the government failed to stop these blasts.
So, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल अभिषेक आई रिक्वेस्ट अखिल जी कि प्लीज बोलने दीजिएगा, बीच में मत इंटरप्ट करिएगा, मैं आपकी बातों का जवाब देना चाह रहा हूं. He started by castigating you, Abhishek, and said, how dare you say that Congress is pro-Pakistan and anti-national.
No, I did not say Congress is pro-Pakistan, even if it is, I did not say that.
No, I am saying this and I am proving him how. Right after 26/11, it was Digvijay Singh who launched this book 26/11 RSS की साजिश. सर आप बोलने दीजिए प्लीज. प्लीज आप बोलिए.
खाने कौन गया था भाई, ये बताइए.
देखिए अभिषेक, दिस इज नॉट फेयर नाउ. लेट मी स्पीक नाउ. 26/11 आरएसएस की साजिश इज व्हाट दिग्विजय सिंह सेड. मणिशंकर अय्यर गोज टू पाकिस्तान एंड सेज आप हमारी मदद करिए, मोदी को यहां से हटा दीजिए. अफजल गुरु 9th February 2016 in JNU, they stage an event, political execution of Afzal Guru, and those same people today, Kanhaiya and their ilk today, are in the Congress party. So, you know, when we say that the Congress has sided with Pakistan time and again, given them a clean chit, be it in Samjhauta, where they coined saffron terror, and I say this with conviction, if not for Tukaram Ombleji who caught Kasab, they would have furthered this theory of saffron terror and Indians are terrorists, giving Pakistanis a free run. Where even US agencies have said that LET was involved in Samjhauta, but our agencies under the Congress party was busy giving Pakistan a clean chit. So yes, Congress has had a soft corner for Pakistan, and there are facts which corroborate that, Akhilji, with all due respect. Now,
कौन खाने गया?
अब आप बिरयानी के, मैं जो आपको फैक्ट दे रहा हूं उस पे आप जवाब नहीं देंगे. अब आप उसका जवाब नहीं देंगे.
Be on facts.
कौन गया था ये बता दो.
Akhil Swami, be on facts.
He cannot give because he's exposed on facts.
If you talk about biryani khane kaun gaya tha, we will have to talk about Sharm el-Sheikh, right? Then that the whole debate gets diverted. My question is, okay, Akhil Swami, my question is,
can I come in, Abhishek?
I'm coming to you, Sayyid Asad Abbas. Akhil Swami.
You are on that side, Abbas. Let me speak.
Yes, I'm coming to you, Akhil Swami.
He has a problem with everyone.
That's the unfortunate situation Congress party finds itself in, or those who defend Congress party find themselves in. That Akhil Swami has no company tonight. But okay, Akhil Swami, serious question. If you mention biryani khane kaun gaya tha, I'll have to mention Sharm el-Sheikh, right? It was very Sharam wala kissa that happened in India's diplomacy. But you see, my question to you is, Akhil Swami, what's the compunction for Sushil Kumar Shinde to call Afzal Guru a terrorist? It's about a mindset. It's about vote bank mindset of the Congress party. Abhi bhi dar lagta hai. Supreme Court said Afzal Guru is a terrorist, hang him. And the Congress party government had to hang him. Despite that, today, Sushil Kumar Shinde in his autobiography is not able to call Afzal Guru a terrorist. Akhil Swami, defend that.
You have a anti-Dalit mindset.
Anti-Dalit mindset?
Yes.
How come? How come?
Sushil Kumar Shinde is a Dalit. And
So
that
I'm
is
not
why you have
anti-Sushil Kumar
a
Shinde.
Manuwadi
I'm not
mindset.
anti-Sushil
You have a
Kumar
Manuwadi
Shinde.
mindset.
In fact, I sympathize, empathize with him that he's in a situation, he's a prisoner of an ideology.
You are in a Brahminical
He's
mindset.
prisoner of an ideology which is imposed on him in the name of party discipline,
You are
Akhil Swami,
anti-Dalit.
that he
You are
can't
anti-Dalit.
speak truth.
You are anti-Dalit.
How come?
If a question is asked, he doesn't want to answer, fine.
Answer.
No issues.
I
And
mean,
you are calling
you're making me
Congress
laugh, Akhil Swami.
anti-India, pro-Pakistan, and you are giving so many allegations against the opposition party, which has ruled this country for 50 years, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And Congress has fought for the independence of India.
For
You
the
are
first
calling that
time on a
party
debate, Akhil
anti-national.
Swami, it's the Congress party. Is someone who's speaking for the Congress party is actually mentioning Jawaharlal Nehru. Generally, I thought it's the BJP who drags in Jawaharlal Nehru in debates.
You are
And
anti-Dalit. You want to get the Constitution of India removed. You want Manuwad in this country.
what kind of diversion is this? Okay, Syed Asad Abbas. Syed Asad Abbas.
All right.
You were joining in the laughter, but please
All right.
tell me
Okay,
how
Abhishek
to
Sahab, I
to
think-
deal with Mr. Akhil Swami.
I'll tell you. I think, with all due respect to Akhil Swami Saab, I've heard him many a times. I think he's a very articulate person. I don't know what I said that he thinks I'm on the other side. Let me make my stand once again very clear. I've always believed सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हम
Who doesn't
बुलबुलें हैं
believe that?
इसके
Who
ये
doesn't
गुलसिता
believe that?
हमारा
Who doesn't
Now,
believe
allow
that?
me to
Who
बड़े
doesn't
भाई
believe that? Out of
बड़े भाई,
142 crores, not even a
बड़े
single
भाई,
person
allow me
doesn't
to
believe in
complete
this.
my point, sir. Allow me to complete my point, sir. Thank you, bड़े भाई. Firstly, I did criticize the government. I did say that opposition is the backbone of democracy, in the words of Modi ji himself. So therefore, when opposition criticizes for the best interest of the country, Modi ji needs to answer. The fact is, of course, I also mentioned that the ruling dispensation must wake up, smell the coffee, and see what's happening around. Be it the NIA, I also mentioned the Intelligence Bureau, I also mentioned the Research and Analysis Wing. I also spoke about Justin Trudeau and how he's rattled as a leader and what he's doing. So therefore, when it comes to matters of national security, national interest, not just my words, Akhil Sahab, the words of Pawan Khera ji has also been the same, that we need to be unified in one stand.
Akhil Swami,
Second
why
point,
can't we be
this-
unified? Why can't in this diplomatic war situation, the Congress party can let discretion be better part of valor?
Okay. Now also, to bring to the
Akhil
clarity,
Swami,
Abhishek
Akhil
Sahab,
Swami.
just
Akhil
30
Swami.
seconds I complete. 30 seconds I complete, Abhishek
okay,
Sahab.
do that.
Also, the fact of the matter, when you mentioned about the parliamentary oversight, with respect to Manish Tiwari, I completely defended that front. Because many of the world's democracies, largest democracy like US of A, France, and several others, are practicing the same. Why so? To keep both the houses of parliament in order, to have a constructive strength, to move progressive as a nation, parliamentary oversight is indeed important. Therefore, I believe Manish Tiwari's bill should have come during UPA, or it's not been able to come till now. But later, I think the parliament must take it forward. That has been my point, which was very dearly missed by Akhil Saab. But nevertheless, the point that I'd like to derive today in the next 10 seconds, Abhishek Saab,
Okay,
that Modi ji's
Syed-
government, Amit Shah ji, need to be open to discussion with the opposition. That is very, very important.
Okay.
But they call opposition as anti-national.
No, I
But
did
they
not
are
say that.
calling anti-national.
I did not say that.
Congress
That is wrong,
anti-national.
sir.
I did not say that.
I believe be it the
Akhil
Congress
Swami, I
party
did not say
or
that.
any party.
But the
is
position
not
the Congress
anti-national,
party is
and
taking
BJP is nobody to give
ends
them
up
certificate.
compromising India's position, and to that extent, it is anti-national, Akhil Swami. You have to understand that. But, Professor Nalapat, I tried to connect the dots.
Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds.
Okay, Akhil Swami, quickly.
अच्छा चीन के राष्ट्रपति को झूला एक आदमी झुलाए, वही आदमी पाकिस्तान में बिरयानी खाए, और आप जो है कांग्रेस को कहेंगे प्रो चाइनीज एंड प्रो पाकिस्तानी. Is that fair?
MOU किसने साइन किया? Who signed the MOU with the Chinese
अरे
Communist
झूला
Party
किसने
and not
झुलाया?
the president
झूला
or the
किसने
Chinese
झुलाया?
state?
अरे झूला किसने झुलाया ये बताइए.
That was
झुलाया.
Prime Minister of
मैंने
India
झुलाया झूला.
welcoming
मैंने
President
झुलाया.
of China. It was not a political leader signing an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. What understanding? Not clear till now with the Chinese Communist Party.
झूला क्यों
Akhil Swami.
झुलाया भाई? हमारे दुश्मन को झूला क्यों झुलाया?
अरे पर दुश्मन के साथ
हमारा
अंडरस्टैंडिंग
दुश्मन
किसने
है
करी?
पाकिस्तान
What
हमारा
understanding?
दुश्मन है, उसके बिरयानी खाने क्यों गए आप? हमारा दुश्मन है
Again, you are
पाकिस्तान।
digressing, Akhil Swami. This can continue, but Professor Nalapat, I want to get you on this. As a national security expert, you see, I was trying to connect the dots in the beginning, and you helped bringing in the railway tracks angle. You know, in this airline bomb threat calls that have been received 90 plus now in the last 1 week, Professor Nalapat, they have come through use of VPNs, multi-layered VPNs, and some of them have been traced to places like London, San Francisco. Obviously, there is somebody clearly targeting India's economy, and we have to get to the bottom of it. We can't present a disunited picture, Professor Nalapat.
Well, India's economy is doing pretty well in terms of the rate of growth, etc. But what they're targeting is a perception of Indian economy, and that the economy is basically, functioning in a country that is not safe. And the effort is to create that perception. And my point is, Abhishek, this is an effort that is intended to cause jobs losses in India,
right,
to cause absence of job expansion in India at the expense of other countries. So I think this is something in which all of us need to work together. And I quite agree with Mr. Swami, 1.4 crore Indians, very few of them can be called, hostile to the idea of India. I mean, there's no question of that.
No,
but the reality is, there is a serious effort by what I have long called the Sino-Wahhabi lobby to disrupt this country and to create chaos.
No, we don't know.
Frankly, I want to end by saying, Abhishek, Wahhabis are hiding behind the Muslim community.
I don't know,
Wahhabis
Professor
are
Nalapat.
fringe, and the fringe will never represent any community.
Professor
The
Nalapat,
fringe
so far as today's blasts are concerned in Delhi, there is a claim that has been made by a little unknown kind of organization or platform called Justice League India. Seems like connected with these Khalistani elements. The Delhi police has not yet confirmed anybody's role. It's under investigation. We would know for sure soon, and as we get to know it, we will of course share it with our viewers. But the fact of the matter is that there is clearly a case of some foreign elements in coordination, in tandem, targeting India's march to progress, and we have to present a united picture. There can't
why
be
government is allowing that? Why government is allowing the attempts to destabilize
and
the
compromise
economy
of
of the
national
country?
security? It can't be allowed. Thank you so much, Syed Asad Abbas, Akhil Swami, Professor Nalapat. Karan Verma stays with me, ladies and gentlemen.